Daytime. SCP Daytime.
Well, it looks like it's going to be another fine day.
Resistance is futile. Just simulate the day.
Go ahead. Make my day.
How was your day today? Did you have a good day today or a bad day today? Well, what kind of day was it? Well, I don't know. How about you? How was your day?
We have a big show for
Good luck, showboy.
How and away we go.
That's the smartest thing I've heard all day.
SCP Daytime.
Most people don't really understand a lot of what politics is all about, and that's totally understandable. Understanding, that is to say, the kind of understanding that reflects knowledge, perception, comprehension, even, dare say, some wisdom on the matter, requires an effort that the aforementioned most people don't include in their daily to-do lists. Or on any list of any kind, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or not at all. That would be the effort involved in reading and researching. Not only the primary structure of the political system and how it operates in this country, but the history of politics in, at the very least, this country since, say, 1900. Yes, thank you. I'm totally jiggy with the knowledge that the country has been around 130 more years than that, give or take, but I'm pretty sure that a citizenry overwhelmingly populated with those who couldn't name their own state senators and or congressional representatives, let alone name, say, the current Speaker of the House or Vice President of the United States, but could, bet your lightsaber, explain in great detail how difficult they're still finding it to come to terms with Han Solo being offed by his own offspring, Kylo Ren, is not going to be inclined to begin their study of the political history of this nation, starting with the beginning of this nation. Actually, 1900 is massively and overly optimistic. Because when it comes to the work involved in becoming an informed voter, I mean, come on, there's only so many hours in the day, right? And once you factor in work, eat, sleep, weeknights devoted to binge-watching Game of Thrones, and weekends devoted to infinite posts on social media on how exhausting the past work week has been, there's just not a lot of TikToks left for mundane, dry, let's just say it, okay?
Boring!
Activities like self-educating on the subject of the process by which we choose those whose decisions will affect the lives of Americans for generations to come. Yeah, leader of the free world, blah, 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 future of our nation, yada, yada, whatever. Say, let me ask you, do you think that Elizabeth Keene is really dead? And is Red her father or not?
Not all of us will live to see that day, but the truth will out.
Historical readings aside, it would be useful, dare say productive, if a majority of most people simply took the time to seek out valid information about the assorted candidates asking for their vote. And by valid, I'm talking impartially documented fact, not whatever sliver, bit, piece, chunk, and or steaming pile of gab, gossip, and or garbage gets dumped into the informational mainstream like so much toxic waste in our rivers, streams, and or spacious skies.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
In other words, 99% of what's shoveled at us from 99% of contemporary news and or social media. Well, hell man, if 99% of what we see, read, and or hear from 99% of news and social media is to be discounted, then it sounds like we're going to actually have to do some work and put in a few hours each week in order to find enough valid information on which to base our very important decision. Yeah. Yesterday, in one of those moments that usually occur for me right after I've read the latest hate spew from someone from that ever-wacky zany group known as We the People, I offered up my 2 cents as to what I honestly believe is the problem we're facing when it comes to choosing a new occupant for that historic house there in downtown D.C.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty.
Or, to be more precise, what isn't the problem? The problem isn't Donald. The problem isn't Hillary. The problem isn't Bernie, Casey, Cruz, Harpo, Chico, Zeppo. The problem is a system in serious need of an overhaul. A system that gives the power of selecting its leaders to a general population overflowing with people who require a minimum of 10 minutes to discuss, debate, argue in order to agree on where to go and or what to have for lunch. Spend up to 5 minutes trying to sort out who goes next at a 4-way stop. Don't know, don't care about what's actually required to inspire, motivate, show productive leadership, but can name 5 great Prince songs before you can say, "Tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999." Consider themselves smart enough, informed enough, educated enough to understand the intricacies of running a nation in a global context and choose a president accordingly, but aren't smart enough to know the difference between 2 and 2. We can't seem to function without updating our internet browser system at least every year or 2. Meanwhile, we struggle along with USA 1.0, DOS.
Oh my God! Ah!
The dreaded blue screen? Only a matter of time. The dreaded blue screen, for those who don't understand the reference, by the way, refers to what suddenly and most often unexpectedly appears on your computer monitor when the system suffers what the system self-reads to be a potentially fatal glitch, flaw, meltdown, and puts itself into sort of an instant abort mode in order to prevent a complete and irrevocable system self-destruct.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave?
I know that because it's happened to me before. And I read a little from time to time. Well, okay. The truth is, I read a lot. And with all of that reading, I still can't say that I understand all the intricacies of the system that I depend upon to keep my computer operating correctly and efficiently. Imagine how ignorant I'd be if I didn't take any time at all to read and learn and self-inform.
Are you stupid or something?
Now, wait for it, let's pretend the computer is actually the country. And between working, eating, sleeping, binge-watching Game of Thrones, and weekends and infinite posts on social media on how exhausting the past work week has been, there's just not a lot of TikToks left for mundane, dry, boring activities like self-educating on the subject of the process by which we choose those whose decisions will affect the lives of Americans for generations to come. It's just easier to pick a simple slogan to hang my hat, support, and or vote on. Working for us. Feel the burn. Wait, here's one that sounds like what I'm looking for. Make America great again. Yeah, there we go. I'll just flip the lever next to that one in the voting booth come November. Hold on. Where did this blue